All right, hello everybody, and welcome back, or welcome for the first time to the Sketchbook Files. This is episode 4, and today I was kind of having a little bit of creative block, trying to figure out what to make a video about, actually. I can usually just kind of do some automatic drawing or something like that to get past artistic block with my drawing. But the video ideas are a little bit harder to come up with. So what we're going to do today is just kind of do some sort of doodling, automatic drawing. I've actually come up with kind of a new term for what I'm doing. I'll talk about that in a sec. But real quick, thank you to my patrons on Patreon. You guys make it so I can buy extra art supplies and, afford a little bit of extra utilities. Not that they're extra utilities, but anyways, you guys help me out a lot every month. If you're interested in signing up to support the channel, there's a link in the description and a link at the end of the video. So yeah, thank you very much. Let's move over here to our new page. I have a border drawn on here, just 3/4 inch border. And yeah, so I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I don't think what I'm doing is fully automatic drawing, and it's not really doodling. I think what I'm doing is kind of a hybrid of the two, maybe. And I've come up with a new sort of term for it, I guess. I'm just going to start calling it free drawing, because it's kind of abstract, I guess, so you don't really need a subject matter. But it's not without intention, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to mess around with sort of a free drawing, so to speak, and we'll see what comes out, So I'm just going to start with some basic shapes. I'm going to start with a sort of a circle here, kind of right about there. And if you want to do like a composition, if you want to come up with like a grid of thirds, or there's all sorts of different stuff you can do with composition. You can do that with this type of stuff too. I'm just going to play it fast and loose here, not worry about it too much. I'll draw a line coming through that way, and I don't know, I feel like something needs to be coming down here. And I'm just keeping this super loose, right? Because we're going to come through with pen here in a little bit and really kind of start to refine everything. I'm going to have it kind of angled up this way. So maybe this is a sphere. Maybe we've got a little bit of a hole cut in the side of it. I'm going to erase that line. I don't like that line. And then, yeah, maybe this comes out of the frame down here. And you can just kind of draw whatever kind of shapes just come out naturally, I think, is the idea. Maybe this kind of has a blunted end to it. Let's draw some more organic looking stuff here. So I'm going to draw a big swoop. Draw some stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's an alien satellite, or a spaceship, or a laser gun. Who knows? Kind of looking gunnish. I don't want to draw a gun, so let's kind of change that. Have this piece coming out here, and then maybe we'll do something like that. Have a couple of blobs coming off the top here. Yeah, blobs. For these things, I kind of like to add, like imagine there's some like strings tied around it and they're like pulling in, like creating like a seam, I guess. I don't know. I like to get weird with it. Something like that. Maybe we're gonna erase some of this here. Have some more of that organic kind of shapes coming up this way. And actually, yeah, I don't like this poking out at the bottom here. I just erase that entirely. I don't know why I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I think it was looking a little too much like a laser gun or something. I wasn't trying to draw a gun, so. Let's see. Something like that. Let's give it a big coming down shape. I feel like that protuberance is a little too much. The old protuberance. And we'll get rid of those lines. Do something more like that. And we don't want stuff to be coming out down here and up here. I feel like if you're drawing stuff coming out of the frame, you want to only have it coming out of one side or the other to get that. It's a mistake I've made in a few of my recent drawings, actually, that I've noticed, is if it's coming out of the frame in too many different directions, it starts to affect the that sort of three-dimensional. So like if it's going this way, we want it to go inside of the frame here and then come out on the top and the side edge there, like that. And it only has to come out on one edge. Or not, I mean, it doesn't have to come out on any edge if you don't want it to, but I was just saying if you're trying to get that effect, it doesn't need to be the top edge as well, because I don't think we're going to do that on here. Let's give this kind of a antenna sort of vibe. Yeah, see, now I'm kind of imagining like an alien satellite, I think. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. And I don't know what to do with this end. I think I'm just going to have it kind of taper down here, like that. All right. And let's give this kind of a hole in the end. A couple little antenna looking things like that. Why not? All right. And I don't really like this blob sticking up here, so I'm going to erase that one. This is a cool thing about doing it with pencil instead of just going straight to pen is, I mean, straight to pen's fun a lot of the time, but you can kind of, if you're using the pencil, you can, you know, look at stuff and be like, I want to change that a little bit just to give it a better composition or overall shape, which is nice. I want this to be like a sort of a tube up here. I love my tubes, you guys know that. Drawing the tube. That looks pretty good. Yeah, let's call that a sketch. Right, so I'm just going to give that a super light erase. Real quick. Make sure when you're erasing your pencil, especially on lower quality paper, don't push too hard. That way, number one, that way you're not just completely erasing your sketch, but also that way you can eliminate some feathering that might happen on lower quality paper. All right, we're going to give this Opus 88 pen a try again. I have no idea what ink is in here anymore. Hopefully it's a good one. I don't remember. Hey, nice. It's been sitting there for a while, and it just draws. It's a nice juicy pen. So yeah, I'm just following my sketch. And yeah, more or less. Just kind of, it's almost automatic drawing, but not quite. Because I get a lot of people asking about, not a lot of people, but people every once in a while. It's like, I think true automatic drawing is really without intention. And so calling this stuff automatic drawing might be a little misleading. Because I do, you know, I do use intention while I'm doing it, you know. Even if I don't start out with intention, once I get going, I start to see shapes that, you know, might look interesting with other shapes. I don't know. But textures, you know, stuff like this, like what I'm doing right now, you know. It's like sort of automatic drawing, sort of not-o-matic drawing. Yeah. Whatever this ink is, it's very feathery. I'm guessing it's Noodler's Heart of Darkness. Probably why I haven't been using this pen. I picked up, actually speaking of patrons, I picked up a sketchbook that I'll be trying out soon. I want to see if I can find a paper I like for drawing that doesn't feather too much but also dries quickly, because that's sort of the, it seems like the trade-off, like either the ink feathers or it dries quickly. Or this, I feel like I just had a stroke. Now, either it dries quickly and feathers, or it dries very slowly and doesn't feather. But the problem with drying really slowly is that, you know, it has a tendency to smudge. So I got this new sketchbook. We're going to see how it does. I will find the perfect ink drawing sketchbook at some point. This one might be it. I don't know. But that's, we're going to fill out this sketchbook first, I think, because I don't want to just leave a half-filled sketchbook. I have half-filled sketchbooks, so I don't know why I'm so determined not to do that with this one, but we will see. But yeah, so I'm just using my pencil as a guideline to create a bunch of weird shapes and make my alien satellite, spaceship, whatever. Can be whatever you want it to be. Could just be abstract, right? We'll do some hatching too. Give it a little shape. I'm just going to use the one pen for this drawing today. Keep it simple. And I'm like kind of following my contour hatching technique, you know, the wireframe sort of thing, but kind of not. But yeah, I have a video on it. I'll link it in the description. The sort of like hatching strategy technique, whatever you want to call it, that I use. I'm just like very loosely following that. I think that's the key to doing this kind of stuff, is just to stay loose. Don't think about it too much. Actually, now that I got this Opus 88 pen working better, I actually really like it. The nib out of the box was pretty janky, so I'm just hatching as I'm going along, like, why not, right? Can kind of help dictate what shape something might be next to it, you know? Doing this kind of stuff is great when you are feeling some, you know, artistic block, or you know, even if you're just having a rough day or whatever, it's like, yeah, maybe I don't want a lot of pressure to like figure out how to draw something right now. You know, kind of no matter what I do, it's right with this type of stuff, if that makes sense. So it takes a lot of the pressure off, lets you just have fun, which I think is important sometimes. I was feeling stressed out about, you know, coming up with video ideas, so it's that sort of like pressure can choke out my creativity sometimes. So it's nice to just step back and do a free draw, because that's what we're calling it now. You heard it here first. Trademark.com. Okay. Just kind of giving this like a muscle shape, I guess, a little bit. Then we'll have some stuff around it that kind of does the same thing. biomechanical. All right? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do that. Whatever. What's this guy? Let's darken that in. Now it's a hole. Okay. Yeah, this has to be Heart of Darkness. I'm pretty sure this is Noodler's Heart of Darkness. I could probably go look at the last video that I used it in, and it would say, because I don't think I've changed the ink since the last video that I used this. Something like that. Why not? See, and like that got a little out of control there, so who knows? Who knows what it is? It's one of those. That's okay though. Maybe I'll learn a new shape from it. Maybe I won't learn anything. Either way. Do a little bit of hatching right here. I'm definitely having fun drawing these little circles or whatever they are. Little pits. Let's give this kind of a rim or whatever. All right. Do something like that, maybe. Oh, it feels good to draw loose. I've been not drawing as loose as I want to lately. It feels good to just loosen up. Who cares? Who cares if this turns out like anything or whatever? Let's do, ooh, yeah. Let's have this kind of spiral around. This is the turbocharger. Watch out. We're going fast. There we go. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's give it some hatchy lines coming back this way. Looks neat. Okay. Let's give this antenna base a good blob on the side of it. We'll draw our antennas coming up. A loosey-goosey. Keep it loose. Keep it loose. I'm talking to myself, not you guys. Well, you too. If you're not keeping it loose, keep it loose. Loose. All right. Beautiful. We having fun yet? Hopefully, we're having fun. Yeah, I don't like to do, I don't see the point of doing art if you're not having fun, right? Like, if you are frustrated, or if I'm frustrated, sorry, I'm speaking like hypothetically, but if I'm frustrated with it, you know, banging my head against the wall sort of thing, if it feels like a battle, like, I feel like my motivations at that point aren't pure. You know what I mean? Like, why am I so frustrated trying to make this piece of art? Am I doing it to impress somebody else? Because that's not really a good reason to make art, is it? I don't know. What is the reason for making art? If it's just self-expression or something like that, then, you know, I don't know if you're truly expressing yourself if you're like getting frustrated with it, you know? Maybe, I don't know. It's so complicated, and like, I don't want anybody to get upset. Like, that and feel like they're doing art for the wrong reason, you know? Do art, who cares? But I think doing it for financial reasons kind of, I guess that's more what I'm getting at. If you're doing art, and as I'm making a YouTube video trying to make some money off of doing my art, but I'm more trying to make money off of the not the art itself, right? The video about making art, right? That was kind of the idea behind starting this channel, partially, was that I would be able to do whatever kind of art I wanted. I wouldn't be forced to do something that somebody else, you know, like a commission or whatever, that somebody else wanted me to do. I would be able to do whatever kind of art I wanted, and that would keep it pure, you know? Like, I'm doing it for the right reasons at that point. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Trying to keep it dark down here, and then I'll get, you know, because this is like the shadowy side, and then I'll get a little more highlighty up towards the top there. We'll just add one of those in there. Why not? Okay, so let's do that. something here. Hopefully I'm not smudging. Something like that. This is like a big tube here. It's tube time. Something I noticed too, from switching to this pen today, is that it's nice to... I was frustrated with it before. That was just because the nib was kind of out of whack, right? I was having to push really hard to get a decent amount of ink flow, and that's never fun. But if your pen's working correctly, it's nice to switch to a different pen, because it kind of makes the drawing feel different, right? It's like a... what's a good analogy for this? It's like driving down a road in a different car, right? Like you have your car, right? If you drive, or I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, like if you were to drive down a road in one car, maybe it's your little commuter car that you drive to work or whatever, it's going to be a different experience than if you drive down that same road in a van or a truck, or, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that helps get the point across, but a different pen is definitely makes the experience a little bit different, which can kind of mix it up. Like this pen still does have a slight bounce in the nib compared to the TWSBI's, which, as long as it's working correctly, is nice, actually. Well, it can be nice. It depends on what you're going for. If you're trying to be super precise, then like a bouncy nib, and this isn't that bouncy of a nib, honestly. Like those gold nibbed fountain pens. Not that I've ever tried one. I'd be curious, but I've heard that they're very like flexy, bouncy, and that, you know, it can be kind of undesirable for art. Let's do one of those. Some of this. Some of that. All right. I feel like I did a little too much hatching on the top here. It's getting kind of, feels like it's flattening out. Let me add some more now that I mention it. But that's okay. Okay. It's actually nice having the camera going sometimes, because I can just look over and get like a top-down view of my drawing. I'm sitting here looking at it at an angle. Another way to do that without a camera would be to just stand up, so, you know. Pro tip. Just stand up and kind of give your camera, or give your drawing, give your drawing a sort of a look. Get the big picture, right? All right. Hatch, hatch, hatch. Let's give it some contour lines. I'm being real sketchy here, real loose. Sketchy loose. Why not? Just grabbing shapes if I see them. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by grabbing these shapes? I'm sure you do. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Neat. There we go. We got ourselves an alien. I'm gonna go ahead and just call this a spaceship. Yeah, it's a cool alien spaceship. There. Let's give it a border real quick. I ain't worried about making it straight. Let's even shade in there a little bit. I feel like if you kind of give it a little bit of a shadow going under the border like that, it, you know, gives it a little more depth. Finish off that edge like so. Let's do something like this here. There. All right. Oops. Drawn over the drawing. Don't do that. It's only one rule here. Well, that's a lot of ink coming out here. I'm going to close this thing off. This has like a little shut-off valve. And, yeah, it's a juicy pen. So it's good to shut it off like that if you need to. go. Let's give it a little bit of background stuff. I think I want to do some kind of like an outline here, but also, you know, give it a little texture. You know, maybe it's got a thing coming out that way. Some like wires or something looping back. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Following that outside edge. Nifty thrifty, nifty thrifty. Yeah, let's grab this edge here. Really bulk that part out. Here we go. Hopefully this isn't bleeding through onto the next page. I guess I'll see you later. I'll let you guys know. All the little wires, bits. The bits and wires. And something like that. We could even just, no, we can't. I was going to say, we could even just color this in solid black, but I got these black wires kind of poking out of the back. Let's give it some little antennas sticking up too, like silhouette antennas. That's kind of cool looking, huh? Just have those jutting out. Fill it in. It's space whiskers, space antennas. Gonna add some little gibbets and dealy boppers there. I'm hanging out that way, hanging out this way. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh, happy holidays, by the way. I don't know if I said that to you guys, but 'tis the season. I don't really like to do holiday themed stuff too much, except for Halloween. Halloween's super cool. Let's see. Like that. I probably should give it a little bit of texture coming out of the corners there, huh? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. There go. Oh, see, I'm coming out of the frame that way. That's what I was talking about not doing. That's okay. Those antennas could be like pointing like not straight back, but like angled upwards. But we won't. I was thinking about doing some down here coming out, but I'll do some, but they'll be going tucking into the frame. That way we don't lose our 3D effect here. See, I'm learning. Even I'm learning. Now I got tons of art stuff to learn. I'm not even close. Not even close to being done. Oh, damn it. There we go. Neat. Space alien. Let's see, how can I get this looking a little less flat? Let's really shade this part in. Sometimes you can kind of tuck some parts back to make other parts look like they're pushing forward a little bit. Yeah, see? Like that. I mean, we could even go super dark on this lower section here. Let's not go super dark, but let's darken it in a little bit. Can you guys see that? Okay. Cool. Let's do that. Kind of darken that bit in. Darken this bit over here. Oh yeah. Whoa, knocking the cap over. All right. I want this turbo to stand out. I like the turbo. It's my favorite part of the drawing. Let's hatch this bit in. Bit. Hatch. Doing it. We are doing it. How's yours look? How does your guys' drawing look? Wow, I know how to speak. I know. I talk good. Fellow human. All right, and I am going to use the TWSBI Eco, the extra fine, and just do a little bit of that. This guy here. And do a little bit of that background hatching here. Just, you know, this kind of stuff. You've seen me do this before, right? And yeah, it's just a hatching that's, you know, got a little bit of a taper to it. We should fill that in. I was going to leave it open because I thought it looked cool, but I'm going to fill it in for the sake of we're going to fill it in. All right. We'll do that one. I don't think I'm going to hatch behind there. I'm going to do some up here. Just coming up this way. Oh, it's beautiful. Just have that turn into stippling. This is just gonna give it a little more contrast with the, so that the background isn't the same value as the. This thing always pops off now. So the background isn't the same tone or value or whatever as the highlights. Because if we just leave it blank, it'll be the same, like, overall tone as the highlights. You know? Right? Right. Right, right, right. Every time he says right, every time he says something, you say right. You some sort of parrot? Right. 5 points if you know what movie that is. And don't Google it. Googling is cheating. And I'll know. I'll know if you Googled it. I will know. Uh-huh. Hatch, hatch, hatch. Hatching for days. Let's see. Then you can do these kind of like smaller ones coming forward, and it kind of, I don't know, it looks cool. Like that. Sound effects make it work better. I don't know why the feathering bothers me so much. It's not even like that, really that bad of feathering from that ink, that Heart of Darkness. Same with the Lexington Gray. It's like, it's just a slight little feathering around the edge, and once the drawing is done, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I don't care. It's just while I'm using the pen, for whatever reason, the feathering just irritates the heck out of me. I'm like, why is it, you know? But yeah, it's weird how it only bothers me while I'm drawing, and then once I'm done, I don't care. I'm like, yeah, it looks fine. It's good enough. Who cares? No big deal. Ooh, changing directions there. Getting crafty with it. Let's flip this over so I don't smudge the crap out of everything. And yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. Hatch, hatch, hatch all day long. Come on. Oh yeah, and then I'm just getting smaller out here towards these edges like that. Just till it kind of fades away into nothing. Maybe we should just do it. Just a teensy bit down here. Let's do it. I was just looking at it and it doesn't quite look finished down here. There we go. It doesn't take much. You really just need a couple little dots sometimes to get an effect, you know? Subtlety and all. A subtle effect. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. There we go. There is our super sweet alien satellite spaceship turbo whatever. And hopefully yours looks great. I'm sure it does. Sure, yours looks better than mine. This is just okay. I just had to do that real quick. All right, anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff if you found this useful or entertaining or whatever. Tell me I'm an idiot in the comments if you would like. No, don't do that. That's mean. But yeah, I like to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment. Tell me a story. Tell me something weird. And I will see you all in the next video. Oh, yeah, and thanks to my patrons again. All right, bye.